Hi, I'm Satori Shakur, and here's what's ahead this week on One Detroit Arts and Culture. An organization dedicated to nurturing diversity in classical music, a winery in the city, a makeup artist tells her story and shares some tips, plus a performance at Bert's.
Senor Blues is gone away.
From Delta Faucets to Behr Paint, Masco Corporation is proud to deliver products that enhance the way consumers all over the world experience and enjoy their living spaces. Masco, serving Michigan communities since 1929.
Support for this program is provided by the Cynthia and Edsel Ford Fund for Journalism at Detroit Public TV, the Kresge Foundation.
The DTE Foundation is a proud sponsor of Detroit Public TV, among the state's largest foundations committed to Michigan-focused giving. We support organizations that are doing exceptional work in our state. Visit dtefoundation.com to learn more.
Business Leaders for Michigan, dedicated to making Michigan a top 10 state for jobs, personal income, and a healthy economy. Nissan Foundation, and viewers like you.
Hi, I'm Satori Shakur. Welcome to One Detroit Arts and Culture. Happy to have you with me. I'm at Bert's, the oldest jazz club in Detroit, where on Thursdays, you will find the most exciting jam sessions in the city. You have to check it out sometime. Seriously. Coming up on the show, the Sphinx Organization has been tackling the problem of a lack of diversity in classical music for more than 25 years. We'll hear from the president and artistic director of the Sphinx Organization, Afa Dworkin. And Vineyards in Detroit? We check out Detroit Vineyards right here in the heart of our city. Then my makeup artist, Tre Marcel, gets center stage. Plus, to cap this show off, Bill Meyer will perform right here on stage at Bert's. I'm so excited for this performance. But first, the Sphinx Organization was launched by its founder, Aaron Dworkin, as a response to the lack of diversity in classical music. Cecilia Sharp from our own WRCJ 90.9 FM talked to President and Artistic Director of the Sphinx Organization, Afa Dworkin, about how far the organization has come as it celebrates 25 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guest for today is Afa Dworkin, the president and artistic director of the Sphinx Organization. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Great to be here, Cecilia.
Can you talk about where Sphinx started and the journey of growth to where you are now?
Sphinx was launched by Aaron Dworkin, its founder, more than 25 years ago now, as a single initiative, the Sphinx competition for young Black and Latino string players. And really the ethos behind Sphinx competition was to identify, to nurture, and shed a spotlight upon the highest level, excelling, poised Black and Latinx string musicians who were talented and certainly were pursuing a career and a pathway in classical music, but perhaps needed a bit more access and that opportunity to build a network. The idea was that if we competitively select these young artists, they will form a network. And then when given the opportunity, they will truly shine, therefore, and thereby nurturing the entire network, the pipeline of classical music, which we knew lacked diversity. So what started as a singular initiative now has become really a movement for not just diversity, but truly new standards of excellence in classical music, both off and on stage. Not just in terms of the Sphinx competition, but now there's programming spanning 4 separate areas, ranging from creative youth development and that early introduction to classical music, to artist development and nurturing, and to performing ensembles, so early professional musicians. We now have 4 touring ensembles, and then onward to arts leadership and entrepreneurship, which has really become an important part of Sphinx's work. Annually, we reach now more than 50,000 people and more than 2 million in audiences. So it's become not just a movement, but really a community within classical music that's trying to perpetuate the systemic change.
AFA, the Sphinx Organization, under your leadership, and of course, under Aaron's leadership in the past, you guys are dynamic visionaries and always coming up with new and innovative ways to present and reach your audiences. Talk about your partnership with Detroit Public Television. What does that mean to you?
I think in many ways, what DPTV does for us and really for the careers of these young musicians is immeasurably important. It's the opportunity for millions across the world to not just see the live stream, but also the later broadcast. It's the opportunity to both endorse these musicians and really showcase the talent, not only for our immediate home community right here in Detroit, but also to really spread the word far and wide. And the impact of that in turn is such that then these young artists receive those opportunities to perform with orchestras and on recital stages across the country. And I think the piece that's not to be forgotten or underestimated is the power of a parent, such as myself or really anyone across the country, of seeing this talent and saying, my kid can do this. I can encourage my child to pick up the cello or the violin or the viola. I can really nurture this talent, and I can see a viable career path for the young people in my life.
What's next for the Sphinx Organization?
Ultimately, we get to now celebrate the 25th anniversary for the next season, which will culminate with performances at Carnegie Hall in the fall, as well as right here at University Musical Society next January, and then onwards to Kennedy Center, where both the Sphinx Symphony Orchestra as well as our Exigence choral ensemble will give their performances of incredible works by Black and Brown composers, culminating that celebration. And of course, on a big holistic level, what we look forward to is really continuing to shape Sphinx in a manner where it serves our community, where it serves our artists, and where it serves the field. Sphinx has become this resource organization, not just through funding and scholarship programs, but through development of best practices, through defining new standards, through nurturing careers, through helping our partners all across the world, really not just the country, to shape their own strategies surrounding diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have to showcase the talent in such a manner where one day what we see on stage reflects what we have in our communities, which is that vibrancy and that diversity and really representation of all of the voices.
AFA, thank you so much for taking time out of your incredibly busy day to talk with me.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here, and thank you for shedding light on Sphinx's work and the mission.
To learn more about the Sphinx Organization, go to onedetroitpbs.org. Did you know you can get delicious, locally made wines, meads, and hard ciders right in the heart of the city? Well, you can. Detroit Vineyards is taking Detroit back to its storied grape growing and wine making roots, while also giving back to the community. Check it out.
Our wines are kind of like the city. They're a little edgy, but they have some class and polish.
Establishing vineyards, making fine wine in Detroit. Some would say impossible. We're here to say that it's not.
There hasn't been a winery here in the city in 60 years. Detroit Vineyards was a project started in 2014, just based on the idea of the possibility of planting grapes in the city of Detroit and also having a fully functioning winery. Grapes were grown here in the late 1700s, and so really we're just bringing that tradition back. We're at 1000 Gratiot Avenue, just on the border of Eastern Market in Detroit. Our winery building was originally an ice cream factory. It was the old Stroh's ice cream factory, and so we've taken it over and turned it into a winery. We are definitely unique here. We're an urban winery. We're in the city of Detroit. Other wineries I've worked at, you walk outside and you see mountains and vineyards, and that's beautiful. But now we see this thriving metropolis, this awesome town that's on the Renaissance. So I think we're unlike anything else you'd see in the wine industry.
I never thought I would be able to work with traditional winemaking in the city limits or anywhere near Detroit. So I was very excited to join the team here and do traditional winemaking once again, and also bring some of the other skills that I have picked up along the way in the form of hard cider production and mead production.
Everything that we sell here is crushed, destemmed, fermented, racked, and bottled right here in the winery.
It all starts in the vineyard. The key to great wine is great raw materials. So as a winemaker, it is important to me to have a connection to the vineyard.
People have responded really well to planting vineyards in the city so far, especially because right now we've got vacant land and we're creating a situation where people can look out their window in the city of Detroit and see a vineyard. So it's pretty scenic for where we are. So we really are invested in the city of Detroit, and we want to give back to the community. So when we plant vineyards, we are working with a nonprofit organization, and we will use their land, plant vineyards on their land, and then we will buy the fruit that land produces back from them at a premium. And so that money is going to go back into the community to continue the renaissance of the city.
The winemaking process starts with the intake of the grapes. They are removed from the stems, and in the case of red wines, the red wines are fermented in contact with the skins. The white wines are pressed into juice, and then the fermentation process starts. In both cases of red and white wine, fermentation happens by a purposeful inoculation of yeast, which will then convert the sugars into alcohol. At that point, depending on the wine, treatment could be stainless steel aging, settling, clarification, stabilizing. Some wines will receive oak storage for up to 24 months, depending on the variety and type of wine that we're trying to produce.
One of the benefits of having a winery in the city is that you can go and have a great meal, and then you can come here and taste our wines after.
Detroit Vineyards is not only a working winery, we are also a public hospitality space. In the public hospitality space, we offer wine tasting, which could be a flight, a glass of wine. I think more importantly, this is a place for people to gather, and also anybody who's interested in furthering their understanding of wine and the world of wine. Hopefully, people can walk away with a better understanding.
So here in the tasting room, we do a couple different kinds of flights. You could do 3 or 5 pours. In some cases, we will waive your flight fee with a purchase of a bottle. You can also sit, enjoy the space, and have a glass of wine, of cider, or mead. So there's plenty of ways that you can have fun here.
Customers respond very favorably to our wines. As a winemaker, the important thing for me is to make sure that our customers find something within our product family that is enjoyable to them. Ultimately, if the consumer enjoys the wine, it is good to them.
I think my favorite thing is that people are in awe of the fact that we're doing this at all, so people keep saying how cool it is.
Oftentimes people, when they think of wineries, wine countries, vineyards, they think of these bucolic sceneries in lovely areas. The things that makes me proud of the winemaking process in Detroit at Detroit Vineyards is all the things that lead up to successfully getting the raw materials so we can do the best possible job in our winery. And also, as a Michigan native, Detroit's the premier manufacturing city in the world. Being part of the legacy that Detroit has established in the world, and to have that contribution be fine wine is very rewarding to me.
I think a place like Detroit Vineyards is important to Detroit because we need to show the world that we can do stuff like this. That we're not, I think the story that's told of Detroit still away from Michigan is that it's very depressed here and we don't have things like good wines. And we want to highlight that that's not true, that we can do that here and we will.
You can learn more about Detroit Vineyards and all of the artists we feature on onedetroitpbs.org. Next up, I have the pleasure of sharing a segment on my makeup artist, Tre Marcel. She is an incredible person with a remarkable story of how she became a makeup artist and what she wants her clients to take from her embellishing their beauty. This was created during DPTV's show, Detroit Performs, live from Marygrove. Take a look. I am sitting here now with Tracy Marcel Bozeman. She is a makeup artist, but much, much, much more.
Thank you, thank you. I am Tre Marcel. That's what everyone knows me as, and they know me as a makeup artist. I'm actually a visual artist. My background is metalsmithing. The reason why I ended up doing makeup professionally was because my niece, who was 4 at the time, said, "Titi, I want to become a ballerina." And so ensuing in that, over the years, my family has intrinsically been in dance and performing. I was putting on makeup on my sister at the performance. And I looked behind me and I had a line of 10 women asking me, they didn't know what to do. They were all in a panic and they were like, and I was thrown into it. We talk about the value of zhuzhing yourself up, looking better. And so that's where I was. But makeup is so much more. Makeup is transformational. When times get hard, I have to have my structure. And part of my structure, part of my upbringing was beautification on Saturday morning. Part of my getting along in life is having a pattern of getting up, putting on my makeup, dressing up, and going towards the world. I think with having the artistic background, I'm a blender. And I really do love color. I'm very highly encouraged bringing my artistic side more into my makeup than what I'm known for, which is the natural beauty enhancement, which I put in air quotes, as natural, right? Mm-hmm. I often am caught just staring at people. And it's just the nature of being an artist in general. And I personally am not trying to change your nose. What I'm trying to do is the slight little bump that the camper is gonna catch, I'm trying to even that out. In my own personal journey with how I apply makeup, I believe in the health of the skin first. We are transitioning into tons and tons and tons of transformational makeup, which can be very intimidating. It can be intimidating for a customer like yourself that says, hey, I am not looking for plastic surgery in a bottle. I'm looking to be zhuzhed. I'm looking to be enhanced. I want to look like myself, just an enhanced version. So the techniques to use on stage, first off, there's a new trend. Eyebrows are everything. Eyebrows are life. So the first technique is basically putting down the eyebrow, and then you're going to, as I say, I gesso. I'm gessoing the eyelid. So when you see that there's a whole white component or a lighter component, I'm bringing it all the way back in. Okay, I'm applying that color so that you have depth. So it's the same thing artistically. So when you're looking at the camera, I'm creating depth. I'm trying to have a matte shadow on the top of your lid, okay? Because personally, right here, if I put a silvery color, then the lights are gonna hit and you're gonna have nothing but gray. So we try to create dimension, okay? So I'm matting out the whole face, I'm bringing back in cheekbones, and then I come in with highlight.
What is your experience after you finish making someone else up and they feel happy and you do too?
Yes, when she looks at herself and doesn't say anything, it immediately starts putting on everything else. I know that I have did a job well done.
I'd like to know, are you going back to your metallurgy?
So we're going to deal with a lot more jewelry and body adornment, and there's a lot more to come. And I'm also a photographer. So wrapping this all up into one and coming into the fuller picture.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Satori.
Pleasure
Thank
to
you,
talk to you and
Detroit
learn.
Performs. Thank you.
Thank you. I am so excited to leave you with this treat, this musical treat. So everybody at home, put your hands together for the great Bill Meyer and the exquisite Shelley Kay.
Senor Blues is what they call him, way down Mexican way. Senoritas falling for him, hoping he would want to stay. And by the time that they love him, Senor Blues is gone away. Said he's tall and good looking, and he always knows what to say. That is tall and good looking, and he always knows what to say. And by the time that they love him, Senor Blues is gone away. Yeah. Senor Blues is what they call him, way down Mexican way. Senorita's falling for him, hoping he would want to stay. And by the time that they love him, Senor Blues is gone away. Oh, said he's tall and good looking, yeah. Senor Blues is gone away. And by the time that they love him, Senor Blues is gone away. Yeah. Listen, friends, I want to sing a song for you. That's really all I can do before I go. I live to sing, sing to live. Singing for you just soothes my soul. Withstood the pains, played the games, and made it all this way to sing for you. I think you wouldn't understand what life has put me through. Music is a medicine, Lord, that calms this aching heart. I know it's DJ, oh, that saved my life. She struggled like me. I love that girl, and now I bring her spirit to you. So, my friends, oh, I had it rough and life is tough, But when I sing, it feels so, so real. I struggle through life's obstacles. I found the answers to my pain. My pain. So, my friends, I want to sing a song for you. That's all I can do. All I know how to do. Oh, I'll sing my heart to you before I go. Listen up, guys. The gate is open. And if they tell you who sent you, tell them DJ Holiday sent you.
You can find more at onedetroitpbs.org or subscribe to our social media channels and sign up for our One Detroit newsletter.
From Delta Faucets to Behr Paint, Masco Corporation is proud to deliver products that enhance the way consumers all over the world experience and enjoy their living spaces. Masco, serving Michigan communities since 1929.
Support for this program is provided by the Cynthia and Edsel Ford Fund for Journalism at Detroit Public TV, the Kresge Foundation.
The DTE Foundation is a proud sponsor of Detroit Public TV, among the state's largest foundations committed to Michigan-focused giving. We support organizations that are doing exceptional work in our state. Visit dtefoundation.com to learn more.
Business Leaders for Michigan, dedicated to making Michigan a top 10 state for jobs, personal income, and a healthy economy. Nissan Foundation, and viewers like you.